drive lights are on here in Jeddah. It's lights out and away we go. I think Alonso got the slightly better start. Perez is trying to come across and cut him off, but I don't think he's done that. Fernando Alonso into turn one in the lead.
Fernando Alonso is one of the most talented and accomplished drivers in the history of Formula One. With 2 World Championships, 33 Grand Prix victories, and a career that spanned over 2 decades, he's established himself as one of the sport's true greats. From his early years at Minardi to his successful stints at Renault and Ferrari, Alonso has always been known for his speed, skill, and competitive spirit. So, in this video, we'll take a look at Fernando Alonso's career, including his most memorable moments, his struggles and triumphs, and this season's wonder in the form of Aston Martin.
As yet again then for Fernando Alonso, for the second time already this season on the podium.
Can Fernando win a Grand Prix this season? Stick around to the end of the video.
The day belongs to Alonso.
Fernando Alonso is one of the greatest racing drivers in the world. Born in Oviedo, Spain on July 29, 1981, Alonso began his racing career at the age of 3 when he received a go-kart as a gift from his parents. From there, he quickly progressed through the ranks of motorsport, eventually making his way to Formula One, where he's achieved a great deal of success over the course of his career.
Fernando Alonso, great qualifying.
Alonso's Formula One debut came in 2001 when he signed with the Minardi team. Although his car wasn't competitive, Alonso quickly demonstrated his skill and potential as a driver. The following year, he moved to the Renault team, where he spent 2 seasons as a test driver before being promoted to a race seat in 2003.
Adapter for everything. We are traveling around the world, so you need always CDs for music, Spanish music. I like Spanish music.
Now, in his first full season with Renault, Alonso won his first Grand Prix at the age of 22, becoming the youngest driver in history to win a race at that time.
He has dominated the race from the start and driven faultlessly into the record books.
In 2004, Alonso continued to impress, finishing 4th in the championship.
Michael goes to the inside, tries to block the line in 130R, and Alonso having none of it.
However, it was the following year that he truly emerged as a superstar of the sport. With a dominant car and outstanding driving, Alonso won 7 races en route to his first World Championship title, becoming the youngest driver ever to win the championship at the age of 24.
Alonso's going round the outside of him!
Alonso successfully defended his title in 2006, winning 7 races once again and narrowly beating Schumacher to become the youngest driver to win back-to-back championships.
This could be the lead going for Hamilton. Alonso senses an opportunity. He could put a cigarette paper between the wheels. Hamilton holds his nerve, but Alonso is on the warpath.
However, he faced stiff competition from McLaren's rookie driver, Lewis Hamilton, in 2007. Alonso finished the season tied on points with Hamilton, but lost out on the championship with 1 point being the difference. After the 2007 season, Alonso left McLaren in controversial circumstances.
Let's get it out of the way now. Any comment to make on what's happening in Paris today? No.
He had been embroiled in a bitter feud with Hamilton and team management, which culminated in the infamous Spygate scandal. McLaren were found guilty of possessing confidential technical information belonging to rivals Ferrari and were fined $100 million by the FIA. Alonso was not implicated in the scandal, but his reputation had been damaged by his involvement in the team's internal politics. Alonso returned to Renault in 2008, but the team's performance had declined and he was unable to challenge for the championship. He left the team at the end of 2009 to join Ferrari, where he hoped to win a 3rd championship.
To become a 4-time world champion, the formidable Sebastian Vettel.
However, he faced stiff competition from Red Bull Racing, whose driver Sebastian Vettel dominated the sport between 2010 and 2013. Alonso's time at Ferrari was marked by near misses and disappointment.
Do you feel the strategy cost you the title today?
This is a sport, this is motor racing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Congratulate Red Bull, Sebastian, but next year we try again.
He finished 2nd in the championship 3 times, losing out to Vettel on each occasion. Despite the frustration, Alonso remained one of the most popular and respected drivers in the sport, known for his tenacity, skill, and fighting spirit. In 2015, Alonso returned to McLaren, hoping to revive the team's fortunes. However, the team's car was uncompetitive. He was involved in a number of incidents on track, including a dramatic crash at the Australian Grand Prix that left him with broken ribs and a collapsed lung.
Mate, I have no brakes, no tires. We are out of the points. We try to do whatever, but I don't care too much.
Alonso's frustrations with McLaren came to a head in 2017 when he skipped the Monaco Grand Prix to race in the Indianapolis 500. He was replaced by Jenson Button for the race and was openly critical of the team's performance and management. At the end of the season, Alonso announced that he would be taking a sabbatical from Formula One to pursue other racing opportunities. After 2 years away from Formula One, Alonso announced his return to the sport with the Alpine team, formerly known as Renault. His comeback was eagerly anticipated by fans and pundits alike, who were keen to see how he would perform after his hiatus. Alonso's return to Alpine got off to a difficult start. He was involved in a cycling accident in Switzerland in February 2021, which left him with a broken jaw and forced him to miss the start of pre-season testing.
Here goes Fernando Alonso with DRS.
However, he was back in action for the first race of the season in Bahrain, where he qualified 9th and finished in a creditable 9th place. As the season progressed, Alonso showed that he lost none of his skill or determination. He scored points in a number of races, including a 7th place finish in Portugal and a 6th place finish in Azerbaijan. However, it was not until the Hungarian Grand Prix in August that he truly demonstrated his class.
Alonso somehow is keeping Hamilton at bay. This is incredible!
Starting from 11th on the grid, Alonso produced a masterful drive in difficult conditions to finish in 4th place, just 1 place off the podium. It was his best result since returning to Formula One and a reminder of just how talented he is as a driver. Alonso's last leading Formula One race was the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix, where he had been running in 2nd place for much of the race before being passed by the eventual winner, Esteban Ocon. However, his last podium before this season had come at the 2014 Hungarian Grand Prix.
Fernando Alonso slides his way into 2nd place with barely any grip left on his tyres.
But things are different this season.
Going into turn 11, Alonso is up into 3rd place. Carlos Sainz couldn't hold on to that podium place any longer.
Yes, bye-bye.
Alonso joined Aston Martin and he immediately got off to a great start in the first race in Bahrain, finishing 3rd. Things were looking great this weekend as well in Jeddah. In the first few laps of the race, Alonso took the lead for a short time, but he was soon given a 5-second penalty for starting outside of his grid slot. But the two-time champion got another 10-second penalty for not serving the first penalty correctly.
Was that rear jack touching the Aston Martin car or not, Martin Brundle?
It was.
This took him off the podium and put Mercedes' George Russell in 3rd place. But the FIA later changed their mind. They released a document that said Aston Martin had asked for the 10-second penalty to be looked at again, a so-called right to review. And even though Red Bull won the first 2 races, the driver which took 3rd place in both those races was Fernando Alonso. Aston Martin looks like they finally have a car that can challenge for the top 3 this season. Even Mercedes have went out and said that they are faster than anyone on the grid besides Red Bull. This is a testament to the great work Aston Martin have done over the winter. Of course, they signed Dan Fallows over the winter from Red Bull, who was key in the designs alongside Adrian Newey, and that seems like a key move. So, can Fernando win a race this season? Well, of course. Aston Martin looks like a better car than Mercedes and Red Bull, especially on tyre wear. Now, which track that win could come on, it's not certain. But what is certain is that they've built a good car, going from 7th place in the Constructors in 2022 to where they are now, which is 2 third-place finishes.
The penalty, Fernando, is pretty harsh. You know, they are deserving podium finishes today.
Ferrari and Mercedes are under huge pressure. This is quite a testament to Lawrence Stroll and the team he's built. However, there is a sad side to all of this. Fernando is 41. Now is the first time he gets a good competitive car after a decade or even more. Just makes you wonder what he could have done if he was in a Mercedes, for example. This will probably be his last team in F1, and let's hope he can seriously fight for victories this season.
I came from a country with no tradition in Formula One, and I fight alone basically because I had not any help from anybody all my career, and I arrived in Formula One thanks to the results in the previous categories and thanks to my sponsors, and who we fight alone always.
And despite the challenges he has faced, Alonso has remained committed to the sport he loves. He's known for his competitive spirit, his relentless pursuit of excellence, and his ability to extract the maximum performance from his car. In conclusion, Fernando Alonso is one of the most talented and successful drivers in the history of Formula One. His career has been marked by both triumph and adversity, but he's remained dedicated to the sport and continues to be a formidable presence on the grid. Alonso's legacy in Formula One is secure, and he'll always be remembered as one of the greatest drivers of his generation. So, what do you think? Can Fernando Alonso win a race in 2023? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below.